Welcome to World News. This is Jyoti. Let's get into the details. Namibia's newly elected president Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah pledged on Friday to boost investments in the agricultural sector and diversify the resource-focused economy in an attempt to address high unemployment rates. Nandi-Ndaitwah, 72, became Namibia's first female president after her SWAPO party, which has governed the nation of around 3 million people for more than 3 decades, secured victory in both the presidential and parliamentary elections in November. Namibia has seen relatively strong economic growth in recent years, primarily due to investments in oil, gas and green hydrogen. But World Bank data indicate the Southern African nation ranks second highest globally for income inequality. We are going to increase investments in the agriculture sector to increase output and meet domestic food requirements, Nandi-Ndaitwah said in her inaugural speech after being sworn in as president. She also committed to diversifying the economy, enabling citizens to derive maximum benefits from our country's natural resources through value addition.
I, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, do hereby swear that I will strive to the best of my ability to uphold, protect, and defend as the supreme law the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia, and that I will endeavor to the best of my ability to ensure justice for all the inhabitants of the Republic of Namibia. Please raise your right hand and state, "So help me God."
So help me God. Investment in the development of infrastructures to open investment opportunities, enhance economic productivity, promote economic growth, and improve the quality of life of our people. We are going to increase investment in the agricultural sector to increase output and meet domestic food requirements. As our founding president taught us, people who cannot feed themselves, they will never be respected.
Tens of thousands of Turks have gathered outside Istanbul's municipality for the third consecutive day, protesting the detention of the city's mayor. The demonstration highlights public outrage and calls for justice. Watch the powerful visuals from the ongoing protests.
Bilecekler, burası güler yüzün meydanıdır. Burada herkes herkesin hassasiyetlerine saygı gösterir. Sevgili dostlar, sizleri bir kez daha uyarıyorum. Bu meydandaki gençleri, kadınları, Ekrem Başkan'a el uzatmaya kalkarsan İstanbul'un iradesine uzanan eli İstanbul'un bizzat kendisi kıracaktır. İşte o gün hep birlikte buradan İstanbul Emniyet Müdürü'ne bir kez daha sesleniyorum. Bu kitle buraya gelmiş, bir kişinin burnu kanamamış. Şimdi biber gazıyla tahrik, emniyet araçlarıyla tahrik edersen burada olacak her şeyden sen sorumlusun Emniyet Müdürü. Sevgi Kılıç aramızda, hoş geldiniz diyorum. Genç Emniyetteki ifade başladı ve tam 6 saat boyunca onlar sordu, Ekrem Başkan cevapladı. Onlar sordu, Ekrem Başkan cevapladı. Soranlar yoruldu, o yorulmadı. Soranlar utandı, o utanacak hiçbir cevap vermedi.
Hiç kimse duymadan bütün yiğidim as.
Bugün
Yiğidim aslanım burada ya.
Tensions in the Middle East have intensified as the Yemen's Houthis launched a missile attack on Jerusalem. The Israeli army successfully intercepted the missile, preventing casualties. The escalated adds to the growing conflict in the region. Education Secretary Linda McMahon speaks to reporters after President Trump signs an executive order ending the Department of Education. Fuel your success with Forbes. Gain unlimited access to premium journalism, including breaking news, groundbreaking in-depth reporter stories, daily digest and more. Plus, members get a front row seat at members-only events with leading thinkers and doers, access to premium video that can help you get ahead, and ad-light experience, early access to select products including NFT drops and more.
Good evening, good evening. It's nice to see all of you today on this beautiful, glorious, sunny evening in Washington, D.C. with the thunder and lightning rolling around us.
Obviously, the Office of Civil Rights has opened a bunch of investigations into anti-Semitism, Title IX violations. What happens to the Office of Civil Rights under this executive order? Will the Office of Civil Rights continue to work investigating the ones that violate the law?
Well, certainly the executive order did not specify what happens with any of the departments within education. So we are looking at where best those departments could be located. I mean, our Department of Justice already has a civil rights office, and I think that there is an opportunity to discuss with Attorney General Bondi about locating some of our civil rights work there.
Do you have a comment on the lawsuit being filed by Randy Weingarten? This is the person who said that she'll only care about students once they start paying union dues. Does she have any standing suing the administration?
Well, I've not had any conversation yet with Randy Weingarten. I know about last week, about a week ago, her comment was the president wanted to take education away from children, which clearly is not the case. He wants to improve education for children. He wants to get those dollars, even more dollars, back to the states without the bureaucracy of Washington. So that's our plan. That's our goal. I'd be glad to meet with her and talk to her about that.
Madam Secretary, can you talk about what will happen to some of the employees who are part of the DOE as you kind of shrink the department, ultimately looking to close the department? What will happen to these employees? And you discussed, what the next plan will be for all of these employees.
Well, thank you so much for asking that, because last week we had we did terminate almost half of the Department of Education. We did it thoughtfully. We looked to see where duplication was in the departments. We wanted to make sure that we were just cutting fat from the bureaucracy, the inward-facing things, not the outward-facing servicing that we do to students and to states. So we did it very carefully. We wanted to make sure that we complied by the law. But they had those that were terminated will get 3 months of full pay and benefits, and after that, under the rules of civil service, they also will get severance package, which is very much more generous than it would be in the private sector. And then also there's a accrued sick leave and unused leave that they will also get paid for. So, you like to provide as soft an off-ramp as you can, because after all, it's not easy, and I've done it in the private sector too. It's really not easy to terminate people.
Good evening, Secretary. Good evening. Thanks for...
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky reiterated Friday that there must be more pressure on Russia to achieve a sustainable ceasefire, adding that Russian President Vladimir Putin has continued to act as an aggressor in the war and has not halted any aerial attacks.
Ми підтримуємо необхідність сильної дипломатії і хочемо якнайшвидшого завершення цієї війни. Але завжди пам'ятаємо, що сильною дипломатією може бути тільки та, яка допомагає тиснути на причину цієї війни, на агресора. І кожен день світ отримує нові і нові докази того, що єдиною причиною цієї війни є Путін, є його Росія. Вже більше тижня на столі пропозиція повного припинення вогню. І тиші немає тільки тому, що цю пропозицію не сприймає Путін, тому тиск потрібен, тиск на Росію.
Nowadays we hear a lot of talking about a ceasefire, and frankly it seems more within the reach. And I am certain that no one wants the killing and the devastation to stop more than the Ukrainians themselves. But any ceasefire must be a step towards a sustainable peace. The terms of that peace must be acceptable to and agreed by.
Звісно, ми підтримуємо необхідність сильної дипломатії і хочемо якнайшвидшого завершення цієї війни. Але завжди пам'ятаємо, що сильною дипломатією може бути тільки та, яка допомагає тиснути на причину цієї війни, на агресора. І кожен день світ отримує нові і нові докази того, що єдиною причиною цієї війни є Путін, є його Росія. Вже більше тижня на столі пропозиція повного припинення вогню. І тиші немає тільки тому, що цю пропозицію не сприймає Путін, тому тиск потрібен, тиск на Росію.
Nowadays we hear a lot of talking about ceasefire. And frankly, it seems more within the reach. And I am certain that no one wants the killing and the devastation to stop more than the Ukrainians themselves. But any ceasefire must be a step towards a sustainable peace. The terms of that peace must be acceptable to and agreed by.
Звісно, ми підтримуємо необхідність сильної дипломатії і хочемо якнайшвидшого завершення цієї війни. Але завжди пам'ятаємо, що сильною дипломатією може бути тільки та, яка допомагає тиснути на причину цієї війни, на агресора. І кожен день світ отримує нові і нові докази того, що єдиною причиною цієї війни є Путін, є його Росія. Вже більше тижня на столі пропозиція повного припинення вогню. І тиші немає тільки тому, що цю пропозицію не сприймає Путін, тому тиск потрібен, тиск на Росію.
Nowadays we hear a lot of talking about ceasefire. And frankly, it seems more within the reach. And I am certain that no one wants the killing and the devastation to stop more than the Ukrainians themselves. But any ceasefire must be a step towards a sustainable peace. The terms of that peace must be acceptable to and agreed by.
Звісно, ми підтримуємо необхідність сильної дипломатії і хочемо якнайшвидшого завершення цієї війни. Але завжди пам'ятаємо, що сильною дипломатією може бути тільки та, яка допомагає тиснути на причину цієї війни, на агресора.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said Friday US President Donald Trump will ultimately respect Canadian sovereignty and be ready for comprehensive trade talks because Americans are going to suffer from Trump's trade war.
Decisions. For example, what we can do are a series of measures, and there are limits ultimately to this, but there's a series of measures that have maximum impact on the United States and minimum impact on Canada. Those measures that we take might have a different impact on the UK and on France. So look, we don't look for that form of coordinated retaliation. That's not helpful necessarily to those countries, but it's not helpful to the overall process. What we're looking for with respect to the United States is to have a more comprehensive discussion of and negotiation of our overall commercial and security relationship. And when the United States is ready to have that conversation, we're more than ready to sit down. There is a limit given the relative size of our economies, the extent to which we should match U.S. tariffs. Right now, what the government has proposed, and with the $150 billion identified products are products that have, as I said earlier, maximum impact in the United States and limited, but not zero, it's limited impact in Canada that we can affect. And my government's commitment is that we will use all of the revenues from those tariffs to support Canadian workers that are affected by the U.S. trade actions. Nos relations commerciales sont trop concentrées aux États-Unis. Ce qui est clair est que nos relations sécuritaires sont trop concentrées aux États-Unis. Il faut diversifier, ça c'est clair. The way Cabinet works, or at least the way Cabinet works in my government, is the Defense Minister and I had a conversation. The Defense Minister raised the issue with me. We had a discussion about Canada's options, and the fact is that under the contract, as you may know, after a certain number of purchases, then we have options on subsequent aircraft. Given the geopolitical environment, given the fact that there are options, given the need for value for money, given the possibility of having substantial production of alternative aircraft in Canada, as opposed to sending, as we have been, on average 80 cents of every dollar to the United States, it's prudent and in the interest of Canada to review those options, and that's what that's the process that the Defense Minister has initiated. We can see, particularly given our security posture in Europe, given potential steps in Ukraine, given our own security needs, that diversification of our suppliers in a way that ensures that as much as possible of that production resides in Canada and benefits Canadians in multiple ways is a prudent thing to do. That's
Bernie Sanders delivered a scathing rebuke of Donald Trump and his billionaire ally Elon Musk at a huge rally in Arizona on Thursday, accusing them of screwing over working and middle-class Americans as they turn the country into an oligarchy. He was joined at the rally by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who told the crowd, "We deserve Sanders, who is independent but votes with the Democrats," trained some of his sharpest attacks on industry titans. "You know who is the biggest criminals are in this country. They are the CEOs of major corporations who are robbing us every single day," he said.
And that is, we will not allow you to move this country into an oligarchy. We're not going to allow you and your friend Mr. Musk and the other billionaires to wreak havoc on the working families of this country. No, you're not going to destroy Social Security. You're not going to destroy Medicaid. You're not going to destroy the Veterans Administration. And I'll tell you what else you're not going to do. We're not going to let you undermine the democracy that men and women in this country have fought and died for. Single day, Trump and his friends are ignoring the Constitution of the United States of America. You know, when we were kids in elementary school, we read about American history and about how this government, our government was formed and the Constitution was written. I got news for you. Those guys way back in the 1790s were nobody's fools. They understood that in our Constitution and in our government, you had to have a separation of power so that no one executive branch, a legislative branch, and a judiciary. And every day, Trump is trying to take power away from the Congress. He is trying to take power away from the judiciary. Unbelievably, when a court makes a decision, you can agree with it, you can disagree with it. Andrea and I were in Las Vegas earlier today. Tomorrow we'll be in Colorado, and then we're coming back to Tucson.
President Donald Trump was asked in the Oval Office about who killed Kennedy. The question came shortly after the Trump administration released thousands of previously classified documents related to the JFK assassination. In response to the question, it was mentioned that Lee Harvey Oswald had been arrested and charged with the murder of Kennedy. However, on November 24, 1963, while in police custody, Oswald was fatally shot by Jack Ruby, a Dallas nightclub owner who had managed to slip into the police headquarters. It was also noted that conspiracy theories surrounding Kennedy's murder had persisted over the years, with some alleging a government cover-up.
1,000 pages of documents is a lot to sift through. Can you just tell us who killed Kennedy?
Well, I was given the task of releasing that because many presidents have gone through it and they haven't released. And I said, release. We even released Social Security numbers. I didn't want anything deleted. They said, so what about Social Security? People long gone, but they're long gone, so I can't imagine. But I said, if you don't delete it, if you do delete it, we have people are going to say, why did you delete it? There's something in there. So we gave Social Security, we gave everything. And the rest is for you to look at, Peter. You're going to see whether or not you see anything. But we've given it. We're doing it with Dr. Martin Luther King, too. They're preparing all of that. They're going to release everything. And whoever else they want. I mean, we have nothing. We really have nothing to hide. We shouldn't have. When a lot of time goes by. But with the Kennedy files, in particular, they were going crazy on them. I don't think there's anything that's earth-shattering, but you'll have to make that determination. In those, it's 80,000. It's actually 88,000, and we have some additional things, as you know, come out today. And for that, you can go to the offices and you can see whatever you want to see. Any questions?
Mr. President.
That's the wrap of the world news. Keep watching CVR News English.